I don't watch many G League games. Okay. Actually, I don't watch any G League games. Something happened yesterday that I was not expecting. And I think I saw something on Twitter that said Bronny, 13 points in the first half. It was something like that. So obviously the Lakers, Bronny James, part of the South Bay Lakers. It was a road game for the Lakers. They were in Tempe. They were in Arizona taking on the Suns G League team. I think it's called Valley Suns. So I see this tweet, and it says Bronny James has, what was it, 13 points at half. I didn't pay any attention to it, but I'm like, okay, good for him. I left it alone. And then I kind of started seeing in the feed all these Bronny has 30. I'm like, Bronny has 30 what? What do you mean he has 30? So I look into it. Last night in a G League game, Bronny James dropped 30 points, went 13 of 23 from the field in a G League loss against the Valley Suns. I go watch the highlights. Bronny getting to the basket. Bronny with a beautiful lob. He dishes for a lob for one of his teammates. The play before that, he got a lob and got up. I've seen Bronny in person. I've seen him actually in the locker room. There is some media time that we get to go in the locker room before the game starts. And the players are not always in there. I forget which game it was. I think I've been to 4 games this year. The third game I went to, I can't remember off the top of my head who the Lakers. I think it might have been the Denver game. Actually, it was that. It was before they're going to play Denver. Everyone was in the locker room. What's going on here? LeBron's there. D'Lo is there. Rui's there. Cam Reddish is there. Jalen Hood-Schifino, Maxwell Lewis. That doesn't typically happen. I see Bronny walking in, and it was like, wow, he's not that big. Dude's not that big. Not that tall, certainly undersized in today's NBA. Anyways, he catches a lob yesterday. He got up, and I watched the highlights, hits a couple of threes. I got to be honest with everybody. I was really happy for Bronny last night. I was really happy Bronny dropped 30 points in a G League game. I was really happy that the storyline around Bronny James last night was a positive storyline. And, listen, maybe some people agree with this, disagree with this, and I understand both ways. I understand if you think, Al, why would you have any sympathy towards Bronny? His family is the son of LeBron James. The guy made the NBA because of his dad. He's getting $8 million on the Lakers, or a little bit less, a little bit more, whatever it is, over 4 years because of his dad. They're a multi-million-dollar family. What do you mean you feel bad for Bronny James? I'll tell you what I feel bad about. I feel bad that he's just been kind of put into a situation where you can clearly tell this is not about Bronny James. That he's drafted at the number 55 pick, the second pick that the Lakers had in the second round. And guys like me, whether I was on 710 ESPN or I'm sitting here, right here, and I'm saying, what are we doing? What is this franchise? And what do you mean you're drafting Bronny James? That's not Bronny's fault. It's the concept of LeBron is influencing his power. It's the Lakers saying, whatever you want, we'll do. You want to take your son at 55, even though no other team is going to take him? Cool, we'll use our second round to take him. Some people say, okay, that wasn't a big deal. Why are you making a big deal? It's not that it was a big, it's the concept of always catering towards Bron and now using a roster spot for his son. I mentioned this just a couple of days ago when Lakers were playing Portland. The crowd is chanting, we want Bronny. It's the road games that you go out there. Lakers are down by 20. It's the road teams chanting, we want Bronny. He's almost used as like I'm not even sure what the right word to describe it is, but none of it's authentic. Nobody feels like it's real. And I feel bad for him because he's in the middle of it. And frankly, I never hear from him. I don't know how he genuinely feels. It'd be a really interesting conversation is to have a sit down with Bronny and ask Bronny, what's this season been like? Try to get honest answers from him. Has it been tough? Are there times where, you feel like it's almost like a mockery that they're calling your name because the Lakers are down 20 just to see Bronny play for a couple of minutes and move on? I've said this before. I'll say it again. I sympathize a little bit with Bronny. With all that said, I'm proud of him yesterday. 30 points in a G League game is not easy. 30 points in a G League game. I don't care if it's G League. I don't care who you're playing against. 30 points for Bronny James is impressive in a G League game. The one thing that man is going to have to try to do, and maybe it never happens. I mean, I was already hearing, some of this chatter that's gone on about LeBron and will LeBron get traded? And if he gets traded, well, they have to take Bronny. Of course they will. That's again, this is just Bronny sitting in the passenger seat and not getting a chance to actually drive the car. He's just basically going along for the ride. But one of the things that, Bronny's going to have to figure out in his career, and maybe we're sitting here in a year and LeBron already retired, maybe he hasn't, but at some point, Bronny's going to have to earn the respect of other NBA players. He's going to have to earn the respect of the media. He's going to have to earn the respect from the fans. He's going to have to earn the respect of everybody. Because right now, people look at Bronny just simply as this. You're in the league because of your dad. I'm not telling you it doesn't happen. I'm not telling you nepotism doesn't happen in every industry. That's not the conversation. The conversation is that's the perception of Bronny. The only person that could change that perception, it's not the Lakers. It's not LeBron James. It's not Rich Paul. It's nobody else but Bronny. Bronny is the only person that can change that perception. And when you drop 30 in a G League game, you're helping change a little bit of that perception. So I thought last night was a cool moment for Bronny. What he's going to need is a lot more moments like that. What Bronny's going to need is, hey, Bronny did it again. By the way, I was looking at this. He's averaging 14 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 2.5 assists across 4 G League games overall. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Honestly, I don't think that's bad. Now, do I think that Lakers are going to call him up and all of a sudden he's going to get 15 minutes a night playing for the Lakers and their day-to-day team? No, I don't think that's going to happen. Do I think if LeBron decided to retire at the end of the year, is it a lock or a guarantee that Bronny's a Laker? I have no idea. I just know that this man has really had no say in what's happened over the last year. The only thing he can control is being a good basketball player. And if he can do that in the G League and try to make somewhat of a name for himself, and then people can also say, yeah, that's Bronny's or that's LeBron's son. He's also a pretty good basketball player. That's the best scenario that can happen to him. All right, let's look at some of your comments here as I go through all that stuff. There's a lot of Bronny fans here. Okay. Listen, I got no problem if people are if they're rooting for Bronny. I got no issues with that. That's okay. But at the end of the day, are they rooting for him just simply because that's LeBron is his dad, or are they rooting for him because they think he's a pretty good basketball player? Guys, it's the in my opinion, probably one of the toughest things to do is have a family member or a father or something like that, or a mother. They were so successful at what they did. And then everybody looks at you and say, hey, you're going to be that, right? What do you want me to be? LeBron's, if he's not the greatest player to ever do it, you're not getting very far before you list him on a list of top 2 or top 3, whatever era you prefer, whatever style of basketball you prefer. You put Bron wherever you want. Bronny's coming in with that. Let me give you a good example. This is actually a pretty good example. Dr. Jerry Buss is the greatest owner in the history of professional sports. That's my opinion. Maybe there's some better out there, but for my money, I think Dr. Jerry Buss is the greatest out there. Genie's got to take over that. The Buss family has to take over that. You're never going to live up to those expectations, ever. How do you live up to Dr. Jerry Buss, who was basically in the NBA Finals every other year and winning an NBA Final? What do you win? 10 out of 32 years, 33 years, something along those lines? You're never going to compete with that. All right, here's one. Saw the highlights. Bronny was hooping. He was hooping. They made 40 mil off of him just for jersey sales. So I'd say it was good value at 55. I don't know what those figures are, but if that's a real figure, if they really made 40 million off of him, that's amazing that people bought that many jerseys of Bronny. That's amazing. But guys, let me tell you something here. I don't usually look at things from a business perspective. Let me use Braun as an example. Is it a no-brainer that LeBron James will get you sold out games, will sell you tickets, will um get you nationally televised games? Of course it's a no-brainer. Is it going to help you win games or not? Let me give you another example. Was there any question mark that Kobe in his last 2 years was going to sell you tickets, all that stuff? Of course he's going to sell you tickets. And Kobe was with the Lakers for 20 years. He was going to get his farewell tour. But we all knew it also wasn't going to win you games. So that's something to keep in mind here. And Bronny at number 55, okay, maybe he sells some tickets. Cool. The storyline is cool. First game of the year is cool. Was there a player? My thing that I was saying was, are we sure that we're not, at number 55 here? Are we sure that we're not doing anything, that there isn't a player that can actually help the Lakers? So good for him yesterday making it happen. I genuinely am happy for him that he was able to do that.